Started for recording. Great. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our last week of our strength training series. Again, my name's Marlene. If you haven't joined us before, I'm a personal trainer, and we've been working on strength training exercises. And if you've joined, you've probably heard it before. But when we talk about strength training, I like to keep it really simple. While I'm doing this, we're going to get some warm-ups going. So let's just loosen up those joints with some arm circles. So we want to train the muscles that we use in everyday life. And what we do in everyday life, yeah, let's go backwards, is we lift things, we sit down and stand up or squat, we push things, we pull things, stabilize your lower body, get some side to side twist going. We push, we pull, we lift, we sit, we step or lunge, and then we stabilize so that we don't get pulled or pushed. So those are our main movements, functional movements. Let's go side to side here. And that's essentially almost every exercise is based off of those movements. And then we change up what we call the plane of motion or which direction. You know, a lot of our life is spent going forward and backward, but we also want to be able to move side to side, move on angles, and strengthen those muscles that work that as well. So we add those different planes of motion in, and that's the basis of every exercise. Basically, is those factors. So let's see, where are we at here? Side to side. Okay, warming up. Let's do some knee grabs. So back and forth. Grab those knees. This is a really abbreviated warm up, only in the interest of time, because I only have a half hour with you all. So we're just trying to loosen up the joints. Let's kick some butt kicks going back. Especially if you've been sitting, what I would recommend is you do a little movement, walk around. If you're at home, take a good little walk around the house, 5 or 10 minutes, get that blood pumping, loosen things up. Let's go in for some air squats just to loosen up those knees and hips, okay? And then we're going to get started with our exercises. So what I have for you today is, again, time circuit, just because I need to stay on track. If you were doing these exercises at home and you were just starting out, you'd want to do a weight or body weight, or do somewhere around 10 to 12 repetitions per exercise. And then as that gets easy, add weight, add overload those muscles, because that progressive overload when you're strength training is really important. If you're getting 15, 20 of something with a very light weight, the next time maybe drop those numbers down to 10 to 12 and add a weight that challenges you somewhere around the 10th rep if you're doing 12, or the 8th if you're doing 10. That's important. That's how we continue to grow stronger. So I'm going to get started here. We're going to start with today. What I have for you is some compound exercises, mean we're working different muscle groups at the same time. And we're going to move in a few different directions as we move through. So from those main movements, the sit down and the squat to stand up, if you need a chair behind you to tap to, feel free to do that. I'm going to be using a couple of lighter dumbbells here. I'm going to hold them at my shoulder. And the first exercise is a push press. So I'm sitting down in that squat and coming up and using my legs to help me push those weights up overhead, okay? So that's our first exercise here. And then the second one, we're going to take it down to the floor and do some pushes on our chest pushes with the dumbbells. Or if you have a resistance band, you can use that. If you have a resistance band, you can stand on it, keep the handles here, and do this same movement. And then I'll show you the other exercises as we go around. Okay, so we're going to start with that push press. I've got these weights here. I'm going to sit down and back into that squat, come up, push at the top. Okay, down and back, pushing at the top. I'm kind of using the momentum from my legs to help me pop that weight up at the top. Okay. Now, in terms of shoulders, if you've had shoulder injury, you may want to keep your weights neutral grip, which means your palms face your ears, versus standard grip where the palms are forward. Okay, that takes a little bit of fork off the shoulder, and you want to keep those weights forward of your ears. You don't want to be way back here. Okay, so that's our first exercise. We're going to go 3 rounds of this. From here, we're going to drop this down to the floor. This, if you're doing if you have no weight and you want to just do a push-up movement, you can do those elevated against a wall or a chair or down on the floor on your knees. I'm going to add in a core work. So with this, here we go. As I push up, I set one leg down, keeping my back nice and flat against the ground. Come back up, go to the other side. So I'm working high and low at the same time, up and down. So both these exercises, we're working variety of muscle groups, getting a lot more done in the same amount of time. Push those weights up. You want those weights coming at chest level. Exhale as you push up and inhale as you come down. Okay. That's exercise 2 for the round. Exercise 3, we're going to go into that lift movement and add a pull movement with it. So our lifting movement, in our squatting movement, we sit down and back. In our lifting movement, bring those shoulders down and back, push the hips way back. Here we go. Pushing back as you slide those weights down the front of your leg. If you're not using weights, that's quite all right. When I come here, I'm going to lift those weights up towards my shoulders, elbows high, okay? Palms down, elbows high. So here's my lift, flat back, head is neutral. Come up and lift at the top. So lifting from the bottom by hinging the hips back, squeeze when you get to the top, lift at the top. That's going to be the third exercise of this round. We'll go through that 2 more times. Okay, and the final exercise for this round, we're going to do a variation of a lunge. This is curtsy lunge, where we're going to lunge behind the front leg, put in a little dumbbell curl there if you'd like, and then come up and go to the other side, okay? So another way of stepping. Take it down and back, pushing through the heel of the forward foot as we push ourselves up, getting that little bicep curl in at the same time. This is like a 2-for-1 here, these exercises. We're getting upper body work and lower body work at the same time. So back and forth, working those legs a little bit differently than a standard forward lunge. Every variety of the exercise challenges the muscles in a very different way. Okay, so that is our circuit. We're going to start right back at the top. First exercise, which was our push press. So sitting down into a squat. And again, if you need a chair, you can do the same thing. Tap, push up, okay? Here we go. Ready? Let's start. Rack those weights. Sit down and back, push up. Remember on our squat, we want our knees pushed to the outside. We don't want them caving. Down. That's it. Push it up. Down and back. And there we go. From a side view, that squat, sit down and back. Come up, push to the top. Okay, keep going with those. And again, if you don't have weights, mimic the movement without them. You're still getting work in. If you're working on a band, you've got that under your feet with the handles up here, okay? We are taking it down to the floor for an upper lower exercise using our chest. You can do this with a band. I'll show you how to do that. You just want to wrap that band under your chest. And from here, push up as the leg comes down. Squeeze at the top. Make sure that lower back is flat. You don't want to have an arch here, okay? You do that by always setting up with a little pelvic tilt, even if you are laying on your back. You think about tucking that tailbone under so that you don't pull on your back doing these lower body exercises. Okay, let's get one more in there. Here we go. And we're back up again. for that deadlift with the upright row. So on that upright row, you're bringing those weights elbows high, wrist down, just to shoulder height, and then returning it. Okay. So here we go. Tall chest, shoulders down and back. Push those hips back. Let the hands or the weights slide across the front of your body. Don't want your head up here or down here. You want it neutral. Come back up to the middle. Drive those elbows up and out. Down, back up. Here we go. Try to get at least 8 repetitions in here this time. Up and out. Down, up and out. Okay. Keep those lats locked during this through the whole range of motion. Okay. Final exercise on circuit 2 here is that curtsy lunge. So again, and the bicep curl. Bicep curl is simple, just coming up about 90% of the way. If you come all the way up, your elbow tends to flare out. Okay, so here we go, and we're moving. Step behind, curl, come on. Here we go. Side to side, pushing off the heel of the forward foot. You'll feel this lunge a little bit more in the glute and outside of the thigh quadricep. Back and forth. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. When you're working both high and low, or alternating high and low, it's a little bit more work for your body because the blood's got to pump up and it's got to pump down. So you're going to get a little bit more effort. It's going to feel like a little more effort than when you're just simply doing one exercise at a time. This is the last round. We're back to that squat with a push press, okay? Weights are at my shoulders. Here we go. Sit down, push it out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many am I going to get in here? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. End with that one. Okay. That is our first circuit. We have one more round to go. Did I miss something on that one? Oh, deadlift, chest press, curtsy lunge. Okay, that's 3 rounds. Okay. I'm going to stop this because I think we finished that one. And we're going to start over again here. And for the next round, same idea. We've got some combo movements. We did do 3 rounds of that, right? I think we did. We might have got a little confused on that, but hopefully I got us right. Okay. 3, 3, 3. Yeah. Okay, so next round we're going to start same idea, different kinds of movements. The first one we're going to do is a pull movement, and it's going to be, that pull for your back. Now, our back muscles tend to be stronger than your forward muscles, so challenge yourself on that. So that last exercise we just did, I did 15 different repetitions of it and I could have gone on. So that tells me that the weight I was using was probably a little bit light. And if I was going to be doing that and counting, I would most likely want to add weight for my next round. Okay, that's what we want to do. We want to consider that our progressive overload, our muscles adapt to whatever we do for it regularly. So we need to be able to overload it regularly. So here we go on the first exercise of this one. I'm going to do a row, but I'm going to do what we call a gorilla row. So I'm going nice and wide, dropping my hips back, flat back, lats are locked, head is neutral, and I'm going to alternate between side to side and try not to let that weight push me, keeping myself nice and steady. So that's going to require a lot of core engagement. That's going to be our first exercise. Then we're going to take it down on the floor where we're going to do a bridge. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to do a little exercise for the back of my arms. And we'll show you that one. We're going to go into a plank, but this is a plank with movement with side to side. And then we're going to end with doing a little bit of round the world work with a band where we're, if you have a band, where we're balancing and moving in 3 different directions, forward, laterally, and back. Okay. So let me get started here again. We've got a minute, grab a drink. I'm sorry if I messed up that last circuit. I'm starting to wonder, I got so involved with it. Did I miss something? It seemed to have go so fast, but if I miss something and you know about it, continue doing that. Um, okay, so this is our circuit. First one's going to be those rows. Then we're going to take it down to the floor for our bridge. That's where we're laying down and knees bent, lifting up. So I'll go through each of those as we get to it, and then end with a little bit of a plank and then some movement with a band. These are the bands that I like to use for those lateral movements, because what happens with this is gives it a little resistance, and it works what we call the medial glute. And that can get very lazy if you're sitting all day. And it really is helpful for many exercises to make sure that that is firing. Okay, so here we go. We're starting this circuit, 3 rounds. Wide stance, coming down, hips are back, lats are locked, head is neutral. And I'm pulling back towards my hip and staying steady in my stance while I alternate pulling that weight back. And you'll notice if you have very light dumbbells, this is going to feel much easier than when you do it with, say, a chest press, because your back muscles are stronger. There's more of them. And back. Okay. So that's it for the first one. For our next exercise, we're going to take it down to the floor. We're working on the glutes. This is the bridge. Heels in close. You're going to keep your tail tucked, so your rib cage and your hips are close, and we're going to come up for a bridge. While I'm doing that, I'm going to hold one weight, come up, keep my elbows in nice and tight, come towards my forehead, bring it back up, and come down. So come up, hold that glute contraction. Work on the upper body. Bring those elbows in nice and tight as you bring the weight up and down. If one weight is too light, you can change that to 2 dumbbells and come down beside your ears. Just be careful not to hit yourself. We call these skull crushers, but we don't want to be crushing our skull. And back down and up. Okay, so that's going to be exercise number 2. Exercise number 3 is a stabilization exercise. We're going to go into that plank. Now you can do this up on your hands, but we always want an alignment. I'm going to do mine on my elbow. So my elbow's right under my shoulders. Bring it up into a plank, tuck that tail. We don't want a mountain or a valley. We want a nice neutral spine. And from here, you can either hold it, or we're going to add in a little side to side movement. And as I step out with my foot and back in, I'm really focusing on keeping my core engaged so that my hips aren't swinging all over the place. Okay. Try to keep a nice steady line. Think if I was balancing a book on your lower back, even as you move out from center, you want that book to stay stable. Okay. That's exercise number 3 of the circuit. The last exercise is that banded one, where I'm going to come into a little semi squat here and take those feet and move forward, to the side, and back. Go to the other side, forward, to the side, and back. And I want that foot to stay, that toe to stay pointing. The foot stays parallel. We're not pushing out, okay? Forward, side, back. Forward, side, back, and back. Stay in that little bit of a squat while you're doing this, keeping the tension on through the entire movement. Okay. So that is exercise number 4. So we're taking this back to the top. We've got 2 more rounds of this. And the first one is that row again. Okay. If you are working with bands, you can be doing a simple row with the band tethered. Okay. So here we are. Move into position. Hold that lats tight as I engage, keeping the core tight while I pull that weight back towards my hip. This is like the old time lawnmowers when you used to have to pull the cord. Think about this in terms of everyday things. Although now I'm sure you just turn the ignition back and forth, lifting that up. So a lot of the exercises in this round, here we go, we're done with those, require stabilization while you're moving. So, that's the anti-rotation stabilization movements that we have to do. Okay, we're taking it down to the floor for that glute bridge. And again, if you have 1 dumbbell or 2, here we are. Lift those glutes up, squeeze, squeeze. Bring those elbows in nice and tight. Bring that weight down towards top of your head. Come back up and drop the glute bridge down. Squeeze at the top. Weight goes down, up. This movement at the top works the back of your arms. So we've worked our biceps in the last round. And now we're working the triceps, or the back of the arms, in this round. Get 1 more of these in, squeeze, 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 and back up. Okay, we're into that plank now. So you're going to turn it over to your plank. And again, you can be doing it up high on your arms or on your elbows, but you want to make sure that you're not back here or forward. You want it nice in alignment, holding it tight. Hold that core tight, tuck the tail as you move side to side. I'm going to take it down to my elbows, keeping my head neutral. You don't want to be up or down. Moving side to side. Here we go. Whew. It does change the exercise up whenever you change your plane of motion, direction you're moving into. Breathe. And rest. Okay, last exercise of this circuit, and then we'll do 1 more round, is that banded movement. Now these bands come in a whole, I'm all twisted here. That's why. These bands come in a whole bunch of different resistances, okay? So I'm in a slightly squatted, come forward, out, and back. So as you progress with something like this, oops, I did 2 on the same side. Do 2 on this side. You might want to add in a heavier band. And bands are a great way to keep your exercise routine going if you're traveling. They're easy to pack. Great way to keep things moving out and back. Okay. We've got another round of this one. 3rd round. Ooh. We're back to that rowing movement, okay? So from the front, wide legs, hips back, here we go. Flat back, lats locked, head neutral as I pull back towards my hip. Stabilizing the core, holding that nice and tight. There we go. Drive the elbow back. Let's try to get a couple more in here. And done. Okay. On the floor, working the glute bridge. I like to use a single dumbbell for this, a little heavier. And here we go. Tuck tailbone, bring those hips up. Squeeze the glutes to hold them up while I do this upper body exercise. Hold them up. Keep those elbows nice and tight as you do that tricep bend in your arms here. Squeeze, hold that up. 1, 2, while I come down. 1, 2, while I come up. Drop it down. Squeeze, hold the contraction in your glutes while you work your arms. Bring it down. Up, hold that contraction. Get another one in and bring it down. Okay. We got that plank now, moving side to side. So plank, everything starts with a little bit of tucking the tailbone under. We don't want the arch back when we're doing it. We don't want to be way, way up. So on my elbows, elbows in alignment. Here we go. Take that up, make sure my tail's tucked, and bring it side to side. Keeping my head nice and neutral and straight. Holding that core tight while I move my center of gravity. Move against my center of gravity, rather. So you feel yourself slipping back, readjust, okay? Okay. Whew, I feel that one. What a difference it makes. Okay, if you have a band, put it on. If not, you're going to do the same movement. You don't need the band. It's easier. Keep it in my ankles. Get in that little squat and forward to the side and back. Forward to the side and back. Good exercise for working your balance too. Balance is one of those things as you progress with movements, challenge yourself by working on a little bit unstable surfaces like one of the pads or a BOSU. That also makes all those little stabilizer muscles work harder to keep you upright as you're doing these exercises. Okay, so that was our circuit for today. We had first round, we did our squat with our push press. We did our laying on the floor, pressing out our weights up while we did some lower body work with leg lifts. We did our lift and into a pull movement for the upper body. So we pulled up on our lower body or lifted and then pulled up with our upper body, works the back of your shoulders. And then we did our lunge, but off to the back with a little curl for our arms, keeping our arms look good. Summer's coming, want those arms looking good. Second round, just to recover, we were in a nice stabilized bent over position while we alternated our rows, holding our core tight. We did our glute bridge, holding that contraction while we worked on our back of our arms. We did our plank and moved against our center of gravity, forcing us to really focus in on that. And then we did our 3-step movement, helping work our balance and working in different planes of motion. So that was our group for today. So ways to progress from our original movements. When we did our first round of functional movements, it was a simple squat, a simple row, simple press, simple lunge, and then some planking, simple planking. These are ways to progress the exercise to increase the difficulty, but also to increase the different muscles that are required to make that exercise work. Okay, I know we went over, we're just at the end. If anybody can stick around, we'll do a little bit of a cool down here. Let's get down on the floor and cool down with me. Let me just check and make sure. Oh, yeah, hopefully. So this is it, Bruce. Thank you. This is it for our strength training series here, but hopefully I'll be back with you for another series soon. So here we go. Ooh, cat cows, loosen up that spine, hands and knees, arch that back, tuck your chin. Oh, yeah. And then reverse it. Oh, cat cows are an excellent exercise to do. Just even a few each night in the morning, just getting some movement into your spine. We have fluid between each of our vertebrae, and this just opens everything up. From here, I want you to sit back into that child pose and pull your fingers forward as you push your hips back. Get a nice long stretch along your body. Couple good breaths. Come forward into my cobra pose. Lifting up, I'll feel a stretch along the front of your hips. Inhale, exhale. Let's take that back and get one more of those. There we go. Inhale and exhale. Very good. I'm going to turn on the side of my body, stretch out the front of my legs, just reach back, grab those shoelaces, drop the knee down, push the hip forward, get a stretch all through your quadricep. Couple breaths here. I'm going to take that to the other side. Same thing. Okay. On my back, pull one leg over the other in a figure four. Reach through, grab that leg that's straight and pull that forward. You'll feel a stretch through your hip. We worked our glutes today and our medial glutes, so that'll feel good to you. Now, in the interest of time, I abbreviate these stretches, but if you're doing these at home at the end of a workout, you really want to hold that stretch for a good few breaths. You want to hold that stretch for upwards of 20, 30 seconds at a time, and then release and then redo. And the idea is that each time you do, you will get a little bit more distance out of that stretch. Okay. I'm going to turn this over. Ah, come up into a high plank, down dog, pushing that head through. Walk yourself in here and slowly curl all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Reach up, big deep breath, and take it down. Okay, so there we go. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully, you enjoyed and picked up some information that you can use on your own workouts, either at the gym or at home. We used minimal equipment here, but if you're at the gym, there are machines that mimic a lot of these. I like dumbbells because I feel like whenever you're using a dumbbell, you're requiring your body to stabilize against that movement. So you're getting a little bit of extra work in it. Whereas if you're sitting on a machine, you're more stable. That said, if you're just starting out, if you're new to a gym, to the gym experience, almost every gym I've ever worked in, they will have a trainer take you through the machines. Almost every single gym has a circuit where you get a chest press, a push, a pull, a leg workout in on a machine level. And if that's where you're starting out, it's a great way to start out, just to start to understand what muscles are working in this movement. And then once you progress, then you can move away from maybe the machine into doing that same exercise with a cable or a band, something that requires a little bit more, and then into dumbbells. So, other ways to progress. Okay, well, I have chat open. Thank you all for joining. I hope you had fun and learned a few things. If anybody has any other questions, comments, concerns, I can hang on here for a minute or two. I see some folks are still on. Let me stop this recording.